The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast. Anytime somebody go do, all black people like Reggie. Man, that shit crazy. This nigga young guy, I think he finna get some cutty tonight.
Man, he trying to get it tonight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But he
plotting and planning, huh?
He making a play.
Shit, at least he making the play.
Don't start that. I'm gonna leave you alone, nigga. I'm gonna leave you alone.
What you talking about?
No, don't ask that question. I don't want to tell no truth. Leave me alone.
We can always edit it. We ain't started yet. We can always edit.
It's staying in, nigga. I'm gonna be like, yo, cut this out. He ain't gonna cut it out. We don't do the editing. You gonna do this video, nigga?
Yeah.
Yeah. He gonna like, yeah. What's her name? We can bleep it. No.
Shit. Oh man.
Look, first of all, he usually come in here sleepy. Man, I got a headache, man. I don't know. That's how we gonna leave it.
I was busy today, man. I was busy.
He's productive, man. That's a productive smile right there, yeah, man. Productivity.
Man.
Producing products productively.
Productively. Shout out, man.
Oh shit, man.
Luckily I ain't got no viewers, that really be watching the show. Look, shout out. Man.
So we need some lovely viewers to start watching the show. We're gonna make a whole campaign for the lovely viewers. Y'all who have been here, y'all are lovely. We love y'all.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes.
And some of y'all actually are lovely as hell.
Yes.
I don't think my wife be watching. So some of y'all lovely. Why she gonna catch this one? Did you hear what he said? He ain't said shit. We ain't got no space, nigga. No space. This is my space. Fuck it.
Man.
Call me Tom, bitch.
Man. Hey, that nigga was everybody's friend. Man. At least you had one. That was the one good thing about it. At least you started off with at least one friend. Everybody was on the same playing ground.
Bro, nobody started at zero. You probably think about the self-esteem that probably helped people from not experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, to like get on a new platform, you don't got nothing that say you got no friends. Like that was just smart as hell, to be honest with you.
That was
smart. Like, shout out to Tom.
Didn't South Park make an episode making fun of it? And I think they started off with 0 friends or some stuff like that. But yeah, man, shout out to Tom, man.
Man, that
was smart.
Man, back when social media was crazy, when niggas was coding, didn't know we were coding.
Coding, straight coding.
Y'all niggas stay with them waterfall backgrounds and mosaics.
Man, listen, I had the little beams of light, the little strobing lights and stuff like that. Man. We used to be in classes. I'm like, hey, how you do that? Oh, I'm gonna just change these numbers, see what they do. Niggas was real life changing colors, changing whole back. Listen, and then when you had the music, like, hey, listen, I'm talking back Black Planet days. Like, that's when you was really coding, because MySpace was like basic coding. Yeah. Black Planet was like full coding, but. That little Webby, give me that. Yeah. Girl, give me that. Listen.
The fact that was niggas' theme song on their page, you knew you can't, if they was like, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship, nigga, he clearly is lying. That is literally, he told you exactly what he wanted.
Girl, give me that.
Stop playing with me. That shit be rocking.
Man, that beat.
And the funny, you know what that beat is? You know what that is? It's a slowed down, distorted version of Pharrell and Snoop Dogg, Beautiful.
She beautiful. That's crazy.
But it's and I think it's in reverse too.
Probably chop one.
Listen, but it is literally.
That's crazy. Not because you can hear it, you can visualize it. Man.
Yeah, man. If I can just perfect that in a DJ, get that bitch.
Hey, one thing though, I ain't gonna cap. One thing I do miss about Black Planet was niggas' ability to just lie. Like, I had a long list that did not look nothing like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I was like 5'3" at the time. I had short little flip braids to the side, bro. On my profile, I was 5'8". I had long hair. I was athletic. All this shit that just wasn't true.
You had the you had the little Bow Wow like Mike braids.
Man, worse. Worse. I had the white man can't jump braids because I ain't had no hang time. Shit.
Nigga. Damn shame.
Man.
Nigga shit just stuck to the back of his head. He ended
Stuck
right
to the
here.
side, just stuck. And my mom used to braid my shit so tight, bro.
She was pulling. She was trying to help you.
That's the reason I ain't got no hairline now.
Nigga. Listen, cause and effect, man.
Man, that and genetics. So.
Man, damn shame. Man, shit. Let's get started. We recording? I just want to say that. I know fucking record. Welcome to the Streets A&R Podcast, man. It's your host, getEJIKEwithit.
Man, it's your other host, Jonny Knogood.
And shit, it's us today.
Yeah.
It feel good to just be us.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Young guy came in here getting us on some music shit.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it. I'm like, I can't wait till his next move. I guess he come like, hey man, you got something that's depressed. Oh man. Fucked it up.
Oh man.
It's all good, man. We gonna look now. We be watching his playlist move. Like, look at oh man, I know exactly what he's going through.
Man.
It's gonna be all right.
Man.
No. But yeah, man, shit. It's been a hell of a time, man. We done passed our year.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the gear.
Man, lovely year. Luckily we got a great marker for the podcast year.
Man.
It's my daughter's birthday. So, you know, shit, we can't never forget it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit if this shit stop now. I always know when we started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody that's rocking with us, that's been rocking with us. And we got a whole lot more in store.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, it's cool because a lot of times we really on our pod, we've been doing a lot of interviews lately. Got a few more to round out the year.
Mm-hmm.
We really do well on that artist side, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like we really are pushing to expose people to the talent that we see
Mm-hmm.
and getting it out there, and also helping to bring talent in and exposing not just what we see to the world, but even where we're at to other folks in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really on that artist side. But today I kind of want to just talk on that. It's a little bit in the repertoire side, like what's really happening out here in these spaces, bro. Like, and this is some shit that we've already started to encounter ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been some interesting conversations around spaces, space availability, and that also comes back around with who owns and runs the spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's favorite game growing up, one of their favorite board games, Monopoly. And it seems like nowadays we're in times where people are bringing this board game to life for real in a lot of spaces. But today I kind of want to talk about it in the music space and more specifically the performance space, bro. Performance space. There's been some interesting happenings online and just in the world of music. I saw that Taylor Swift doing a concert and she's signed with Live Nation.
Mm-hmm.
So she's signed to a label, but artists, and we can start here, artists are signing their performing contracts basically with companies, which is crazy. Because it's like you're signed to a label, they can do the music and the business and all of that, but then you're signing with performance companies to be on their bill. And what the performance companies have done are doing, one of the main things they're doing is building venues or getting venues. And while that poses some opportunity, that poses a lot of threats for the people who are not signed to these companies, right? One of the biggest ones, like Live Nation. We bring up Live Nation. Why is that even important to us here? Well, shit, they building a brand new venue downtown Omaha, Steelhouse, right? I think it's Steelhouse. Steelhouse. And that's a Live Nation venue. So one thing that does, though, for the consumer, any artist that's with Live Nation, bigger artists, they now have a space that by that company that's going to be here in the city to where it's going to be a far easier booking. You get what I'm saying? They're signed to them. They're doing the booking themselves at their venues. Where that sucks at, and this is part of the conversation I want to have, where does that leave those who are not signed to these venues. And we can go in a little depth on it. Because if you own a building, you think they're going to control what's sold in the building?
Of course. I mean, this is like, this is the pros and cons of being in capitalism, right? And in capitalism, you end up with two results. You either end up with perfect competition, or you end up with a monopoly. And I think that it's in these environments that it's, if you understand how much you can't leave to chance, and you understand that the successful companies, when they're building monopolies, there's 7 questions that they have to answer, right? And these 7 questions, one is one of engineering. Can you create breakthrough technology instead of incremental improvement? Is now the right time? The question of timing. You have the third question, which is a question of a monopoly. Are you starting with a large share of a small market? You got to answer the question of people. Do you have the right team around you? You got to answer the question of distribution. Do you have a way not to just create, but to deliver your product? You have to ask a question of durability. Will your market position be defensible in 10 and 20 years in the future? And then lastly, you got to answer the question of the secret. Have you identified a unique opportunity that others don't see? And I think that they're being very smart in creating their monopoly by capitalizing on a channel of distribution. And then understanding that in that unique system of distribution is an opportunity. And so it sucks for the smaller people in the smaller market, the smaller, independent indie artists, the people who doing this for the love of the music. But on behalf of the artists, on behalf of the music industry, it's a smart move.
Yeah. I tell people, this is big business doing big business. And what typically happens in big business is the small man get bought out or kicked out. That is the universal. You either buy in, and not even buy in. You sell and we absorb part of what you were doing, because that's why we buying you in anyways. We saw what you were doing. Typically on the innovation side, we want to get that, and we got more money to put behind it. And we also eliminate competition at the same time. So it's like, for owners, that might be a dub. Look, Vine, right? Vine started all this shit. TikTok, Instagram, something.
Very true.
Vine,
very true.
But they got bought.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And they sold it. I ain't gonna say they got bought. They sold. And I'm not gonna tell you that's not a smart choice per the owner's interest, but per capitalism and consumers, it don't always be the best thing for us, right? So it's
the reason why it don't be the best thing for us is because, like I said, there's 2 choices in capitalism. In perfect capitalism, I'm talking about, not just ideology. It's either perfect competition or a monopoly. So in capitalism, how it's supposed to function, in perfect real capitalism, you would have competition that would create an environment where you could have other outlets and environments, but they create artificial environments where there's false competition. So they have real monopolies. You could look at Liberty Tax and Jackson Hewitt. They're owned and ran by the same company. They're presenting false competition to consumers that creates an environment where they benefit, they win. But in the real capitalistic society, if it functions the way that they want it to function on paper, we would benefit from real competition.
For sure. And another example of that is, look at the soda industry. It's really two companies, Pepsi and Coke, period. They got a whole slew of shit, and you wouldn't know it's even theirs. But it's including water, all that. So that's the illusion of competition. You're not, they the same thing. So now, why that's important here in the music space, a lot of people, we know what's good for music business. And when we say music business, we're not talking about the people in the business, just music business. Owning a venue is very smart. If I'm a distributor of entertainment, it's smart for me to try to get venues so I have no hoops to go through with booking venues. That's a smart ass move. And it's smart because inside of there, you're now going to cut deals with companies, i.e. the highest bidders, for who's providing the beverage, who's providing the lighting, who's doing all that. So you're going to now basically have a syndicate of shit that you can build around the nation using the same people. Right? Which is not a bad thing because we know what the product gonna be, we know how it's gonna function, we know what the layout is, we know who's serving what, we know what the pricing is. We gotta talk to one person for each of those. We don't have so many different ones. But you lose, and this is where it sucks, because if you're an artist and you don't have access, you're not signed to them or you don't want to sign to those, you now have to go do the old way and try to, get booked, get on somebody's tour, book your own venues. But what happens when all the venues are owned by somebody and they get down to lay down?
And another thing that you kind of hitting towards with having to go the other route of booking your own shows, what happens then when you go into some of our clubs where the DJs aren't reporting the spins or the club venues ain't reporting the spins? I'm not trying to be on the side of the music industry at all. And I know that that's the way like it's kind of coming off on this stuff, but that's another aspect where some artists miss out on big money is because their spins are not being reported. That's hitting local artists way harder than it's hitting the national artists. But you got people who are legends in their hometown get spins all the time. Those spins aren't getting reported. They're not getting that back. They're not getting no mechanical rights. They're not getting licensing rights. They're not getting none of that stuff. So.
And that's a whole conversation with the venues who are hosting shows need to be registered as a music venue. So then when you're booking shows, they know that night those are automatically counted. And as a music venue, you get access to different applications that do booking, that have shows, and you're on these apps now. If you're not registered as that, you literally are essentially, if you do this all the time, it's one if you're doing one-offs. You're a club, you're doing one-offs, whatever. But when you are booking artists and you are acting as a venue, you need to be registered as a venue so the artists can get their back in. Because right now you're just kicking their back in.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting them the most bang for their buck. So even if they're not selling out their shows, but you reporting the people, you reporting the spins, like a radio station has to. It helps. It does that. That's no different, bro, than me on my live streaming shit. I don't know why I just blanked on the name, but on my live streaming shit, like it literally hears and basically Shazam, it records who's being spent, because if I make money,
Mixcast?
No, not a Mixcast is that. I don't know why I'm blanking. Mixcloud. Yeah.
It was
just blanking. Shout out Mixcloud. But they were the first legally DJ friendly distributor. You know what I'm saying? So I think they may still be the only one that truly busts down the payments. So you can subscribe to me and pay to me. But if money comes in, they literally pay out the people from my percentage to the artists that I spend. So it's just no different. It's basically a digital music venue. That's all it is. And they've been able to do that. So it's pretty much the same splits that you would get if you were at a music venue. So that's where people don't understand where these fees come from for shows. That's part of it.
Yeah. And for me, like what's hitting me in real time is just with them monopolizing touring, they're monopolizing one of the biggest aspects that pay artists. Artists always make the majority of their money off of touring and merchandising. Like if you ain't got nothing to sell and if you ain't doing no shows, you're really not getting a real bag. So like it's really putting down and dampering down where they'll start negotiating and they'll be getting 360 when it comes to, they'll have more leverage. By they, I mean the music industry and their representatives that have more leverage in artists' creation of bag, because now we're cultivating the environment that's getting you paid for your tours. It's not like you have to go secure your own tours or, you're a part of a group we have all of that a part of it. So there's some pros and cons with that, but as we know, there's always slippery slopes when there's too much greed and not enough innovation.
Man. Yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes and how I know where it's going, but how it plays out fully, because I think we got two things. Either artists, the mid-level, lower level artists gonna be starving even more, or is going to push for a bit of a renaissance, which we're kind of pushing in music with everything going on with the award shows, with everything going on just in the actual music. There's a real renaissance of we need to take care of ourselves. They're pushing for you. Like there's a real. So I think what could end up happening is we're going to start seeing a lot more people in the cities pooling, especially when local talent starts getting popped off. People gonna be like, we need some venues that are gonna play our local talent that's not connected to the bigger companies, and we might see a real push for more venues, even smaller scale, mid-level scale venues. And I think that could be real. And that's part of me is optimism, or part of me is like going to, I was in Anaheim, and that's my second time in Anaheim. I've been to 3 concerts and two trips to Anaheim at the House of Blues. For those who don't know, most House of Blues like that one, they have multiple rooms. They can throw up to about 3 shows on the same day. But it allows you to be at scale. So if you smaller and you still want a great sound, you can go here. You can go to this room over here if you're a certain type of band. And if you need the big room, have at it. But we're going to start seeing, I think,
we are seeing, and we're going to see, like you said, the creation of that underground market. If you look at what LaRussell doing, right? By being in, I forgot he was doing a show the other day. There was a main act. He like, if you can't make it to that one, pull up to Mines, because Mines is pay what you can, So you will start to see an environment where there will be alternatives. There will be something else for people to do in conjunction to the main things. And I think that there will be a group of people who desire that. Like, it make me think about, like what Both used to do back in the days when Skyrie was doing the house performances, in the trap houses and doing trap performances and stuff like that. Really backyard concerts and in-house basement concerts and stuff like that. Really a real intimate feel. LaRussell, again, look at what he doing with inviting people into his house and having an experience where his mom is cooking. That I seen them talk about how is he worried about the industry trying to take his model or copy his model or whatever. Like, I can see the industry trying to recreate experiences like that, an authentic experience with an artist where they get a chance to just sit and vibe with them for the day. And so, like, I think that which is intended to do, as the market starts to seize up and get smaller, it always births a dark horse that comes out of nowhere that ends up taking over everything. So I think that that's one thing we always got to be mindful of.
One thing you can't kill or control is creativity.
Yes, sir.
And we create best in dire times and out the dark.
Yes, sir.
So, because you're trying to find a way to exist, and it is going to bring about a whole lot of things. And I just hope people don't get too caught up in trying to say, oh, I need this, instead of being able to be in their artistic self and think about what's a feasible solution that I can deal with. And I think it's important for like folks like us to continue to try to build these relationships with some of these venues, and then also build relationships with other people to try to make some venues, so that we can, if they can't go directly to them or they're not getting feedback, do they have anybody that's not in the system, in the monster, that can influence the monster? You know what I'm saying? Maybe pull some strings here, get some people here. And, I think like even with our name, Streets A&R, an A&R is typically tied to a building. They're tied to a company. But being out here, we have the opportunity to tie ourselves to wherever we want to time to.
Yes, sir.
We can build and cut as we need. So for me, I know that's one of my things. That's why I started this shit. Like, I'm like, we need more people here. We need to be doing this shit. We need artists over here. That's just who I am. And it's not just how I play music. That's how I operate when I'm trying to book and do all these things. So, and it's important to have people in places that are willing to do that and have conversations with maybe some of these bars that they ain't really doing that. Like, man, why don't y'all let us get in here? We can show you some things. Boom, pop it off. Right? And then had a conversation when we popping this off, you need to make sure you're registered as this so these artists can get paid on the back end. So that, and then let them have the freedom to sell whatever they need to sell as long as it's not interfering with your business, i.e. liquor, right? Just ain't selling liquids, you typically good. So, And that's a very, very, very important aspect to this, because I foresee them eventually in these buildings telling somebody what they can and can't sell. Because if it's in conflict with some of their merch, they can be like, no, you can't bring that one. Well, this $50, I'm trying to make $5,000 a night. We're gonna have some issues, gonna be some head bumping. So the big dogs ain't worried about it. And switching gears, still on the topic, there's a real concern that this whole concert venue stuff is gonna end up being like the shoe game, just a straight resale market, right? Because these companies who sell their tickets exclusively on platforms such as Ticketmaster, who's to say you're not in there working, buying the tickets and reselling them and double dipping, because there's a fee associated even in the resale. Like that shit, bro. And I don't even think it's not illegal, but it's definitely unethical. But where does it stop? And that's the issue with some of this stuff.
And then that creates other issues too. Like as far as if you're looking at accessibility, then you start looking, because I just seen a Gary V clip the other day where he said that if you a single digit millionaire, you're middle class. If you a single digit millionaire, you middle class. So like as we continue to move towards a society of haves or have nots, right? Then does this create an environment where only people of certain status can be in these environments, in these rooms? Yep. Are we then now segmenting certain populations, undesired populations, people you don't want to be in rooms, undesired peoples? So these are the things that we really have to keep in mind. And then are they then giving birth to a different market now with controlling the resale, right? Because the same way you got so many seats, limited access to seats, then now are y'all creating a virtual market for undesirable people where y'all can have them in there, and y'all can have them in there in their desired forms, their avatars and shit like that, more desirable states than what you see them as, because you see them as undesirable people. This is all stuff I'm just coming up with on the whim right now, but
we on the same way.
Yes, sir.
We literally, I was just about to get to that, because there's a reason why Meta and Oculus have been giving all of them the free shit in the metaverse. You go on the basketball game, sitting courtside. They doing a show digital, I guess, with virtual Biggie Smalls. But then they got people like Lotto and shit on the bill, right? So they finna see.
But look, right? But then Lotto can't even sell 2,000 copies of her. Oh no, that wasn't Lotto. That was
what's her name?
God damn. See?
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yep. Well,
that's the point. Can't even think of her name.
Point. But yeah, I get to it. I know who it is.
Yeah, Sweetie.
Yeah. So it's and I think you spot on. So when you go, because they've created a space where it can happen. We're already doing concerts like on Thursday night football on Amazon after the game. Already doing concerts. You're already tuning in to your internet, television, whatever, subscription-based stuff to watch concerts. We're already there.
They introduced it in Fortnite with Ariana Grande and having virtual concerts as part of the game.
Yeah, so and it's crazy because even now I'm thinking, well, shit, 2K. Maybe at the end of the year, y'all gonna do a Dreamville concert. Look, niggas
how because niggas coming in their best.
You got
planning their VC. You and your Dreamville fit.
But you got to have a 90 overall to get in the room.
You know what they really would? They would really make it sweaty where you gotta be 95 to get in the room.
Because now you're gonna drive up. Listen, it's a dirty game, but you already know what's gonna happen. You're gonna, I got to get my player up. Let me pay this money. Let me get the gun. Let me get in. Get active. Driving stock up. Driving money up.
And we dropping them. Look, if 2K end up next year, where a part of your certain level, your legend status you can get access to virtual concerts. You heard it here first, man.
And fuck first, we suing because it's gonna be on air. we coming. Please do it. We coming for ours.
IP. I need mine.
I need it. Like, stop playing.
I need my check. I'm gonna be sounding like Martin Luther King, and the check came back insufficient funds. That motherfucker better not come back insufficient funds.
I don't want VC, my nigga.
Man,
I need cash.
man.
Give me some coins, some doubloons, my nigga.
That's sick.
That'll be crazy. We just be going. That shit funny. But I think it is a push to the virtuals. Everything's about digital. Everything's subscription. Everything's streaming. And I love platforms like you talked about LaRussell doing it with his Even platform, right? Mm-hmm. Direct to consumer. Mm-hmm. Pay what you will, and I'll still send you a CD. I'll still, if you put something, what would you like to have? You can drop $2, and if you put a CD in a cassette, he'd have sent you a CD and cassette. Because it's always going to balance itself out. A lot of people who, when we like something, we liable to tip more.
Yeah.
You know, so especially when we got it. Yeah, especially if you get an algorithm.
Especially if you controlling your methods of distribution because you controlling your cost. You know, like when I did Zik Tape 2, you know, I did all of my own distribution and everything. I printed up all my materials, burnt all my CDs, everything. I controlled every aspect. And when it came down to it, my production cost was less than $2 a CD. So as long as I was making $2, I was breaking even.
Yep.
And so, you know, shout out to Leo Lewis. He had taught me a method of accepting donations to get over the fact that I didn't want to sell my music to people, and I was getting people giving me $40 in a donation. So it would balance itself out. You get 40 for one, you get $2 or whatever somebody can give you for another CD, and in the end, you're still making.
Yep. And it's crazy because with all, again, the music industry again is in a renaissance. You see the big dogs like Meek Mill, who's off his label, who actually dropped some, and you can literally, he's like, just cash at me, right? Like, you can go get on that Piff and listen, but you just cash app them. And it's like, even not that, you know, my favorite app in the world, music. Bandcamp. They take a small percentage compared to, and I actually think you're going to see a rise in those. Whether it's like LaRussell's Even and getting more artists to join in, especially those who already have some buzz. Like off the top of my head, who I really truly probably think should be on that shit is Coast Contra. Them boys, before they album drop, went viral. Made themselves go viral with them freestyles, right? And they got that same energy, bro. They will make bank. Like people like that, that's already buzzed themselves, that actually have the will. And
it's so hard, but that's what makes LaRussell such a gem is because he takes creative control of his music destiny, because that's the biggest balance, is the artist business balance. Like, are you able to be the artist versus are you able to be the manager, right? Because as an artist, you are an entrepreneur. And like 75% of the music is the business. And as most musicians, they only want to focus on the music. But then, so it takes away from your creative process when you're focusing on the business aspects too. So shout out to somebody like LaRussell, having a team around him, having a mind around him that he understands how to build sustainable solutions. He builds systems. That's literally what he's doing. He's building a monopoly. Like, you read off all 7 of those questions of what's asked, you look at somebody like LaRussell, this is literally how you build an empire, bro. He's going to be that man.
Yeah, number 7 is the biggest one for me. Finding what's missing, needed. Like, and that's where you start. Do you got it? Oh, that's
the book. The book is called 0 to 1. It's by Peter Thiel. He was one of the people who helped start PayPal. But that's literally where he started off at. Is the first sentence is, what's a truth that you know that most people don't believe, or something like that? Like, what's a common misconception that most people think is true that you know is false? And that's how it starts off. Literally how it starts off. Number 1.
It's crazy, bro.
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's an opportunity, and even for people like us and what we doing here and what we doing outside of here, like this, we finna strike.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be early, which we need to be.
Yes, sir.
Because it puts us in position, and not to hoard it, but to put others in position.
Yes, sir.
But first, we got to get in position.
That part.
So we got the opportunity. There's no obstacle that's not void of opportunity, bro. So I'm ready. You can tell I'm excited. Like this shit. So it's for me. I'm excited. I just want the artists to make sure they're paying attention to what's happening. And if you can't pay attention, please get you talk about teams versus work group. Get somebody on your team that's able to look out for you and pay attention for you. You know what I'm saying? I know Summer Walker, she got her guy Justice, manager. He gonna make sure they literally looking out. Like it ain't just business. Like it's business, but I'm in the business of you. And understanding that I got to be in the business of you if any of this shit gonna work anyway. If we really unless you just a shark. That part. So get somebody who ain't super busy, that can focus on you, that got the skills and the will, and got that attitude to want to go get it. I have it like that Diddy, man. I can't be stopped. I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Gotta have that shit. You gotta have it. But yeah, I'm shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Shout out Omar. I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm excited too, bro. Yeah. This was a dope fire interview. A show. You know what I'm saying? Here. Just let them know, man. I know you talked about the A&R aspect, but just letting them know that Streets A&R really know what the fuck we be talking about too.
Yeah. It ain't just a name. Yeah. We just ain't got the fame. Yeah. I be boring for no reason.
Hey, shit, we gonna drop a mixtape.
Listen. I be ready to cook, man. I came with a fire ass shit earlier. I think it was gonna be for poetry. Don't remember it all. And I told myself either record it or just write it. And I didn't do either. And I be coming up with crazy, especially when I'm mowing. That's when I come up with it's just you and that mower trying to pass some time. Like, I be going crazy, nigga. Yeah. But yeah, we gonna drop something one day. Fuck it. Man. If I drop, you got to. That's just whatever.
Man, that's like big pressure. I know. Shit, that's big pressure, man.
You know I ain't finna rap shit.
No, that shit big pressure. Cause shit, it's like, damn, you come out busting and shit. Cause shit, man, like shout out to Shamari. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shamari and shit, our bro show. He did a So Gone challenge. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. And like he put both of our verses on the same So Gone beat. And it's actually fire. But he was dropping bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's pressure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He got one song he actually out-rapped me on. We kind of low-key did a little song. It's called Ride Slow. Oh. And man, I did a little bootleg verse on there. Nothing major. He low-key ate me up on my own song. Shit. And he don't even rap.
Listen, you want the first or the second?
Shit, I'm gonna go second. Shit, that way you don't remember.
I ain't gonna remember.
That way you don't remember.
What I said? Oh, damn, that's crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know it's a good show when Johnny just say it's a good show. Man. Y'all tell us in the comments if it's a good show, man. Man, yeah. I'm excited. Omaha, we got venues popping up, popping up. We got opportunities, and we got conversations to be had with new venues and new spaces and trying to get some more. So we gonna make this shit shake and shit. Help us grow, man. I appreciate everybody who rocking with us and riding with us.
Make sure y'all hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. You know, dropping a comment, encouraging us. If you feeling what y'all hearing out here, drop that shit fire. Drop a Streets A&R. I don't know what to say, but you know we do appreciate.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Nah, man, I forgot I need to load up my tags because one of them, she like, that shit fire.
Yeah.
Hey, it's coming up next. Don't worry about it.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Ty the Poet, man.
Ty the Poet.
We were talking about freaky music. I'm going to just send her some drops.
send you some drops.
You can be like, can she just read to me during? Man. Yeah.
Man. Might change the whole shit. How can we? There we go.
I got
yes, sir.
Yeah, man. But man, hey, man, again, Streets A&R. That's Streets A&R. We're on all platforms socially. You can find us everywhere but Apple. And yeah, man, make sure you like Johnny said, follow, subscribe, share, comment, retweet, post, story, all of it, man.
Man, because we appreciate it all. It all helps.
It definitely do, man.
I ain't gonna cap, man. The share might go further than the like. You know, because you're literally exposing us to your audience now and a percentage of your market. So, I mean, if there's one thing that y'all could if y'all really want to show that y'all fuck with the Streets A&R, the best thing y'all can do is share our shit, bro. That's what y'all can do. Share.
Yeah, man. We appreciate, especially all the artists that have come through, especially recently, bro. They've been showing so much love and posting and just showing love, bro. So I appreciate everything from everybody, and I'm excited to where we go in our second year, and for the rest of 2022, man, deuce out the roof soon. So,
yes, sir.
Man, We gonna get up out of here. It's your host, getEJIKEwithit.
It's your other host, Jonny Knogood.
We out, man.
All right, peace.
The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.